topic that I would like to talk about in today's video is whether you should meet people who are draining your energy. And let me first start off from my understanding, what I've learned in the past couple of years basically about this subject. When you meet a person and that person is draining your energy, then on a spiritual level or on an energetic level, there is a imbalance. There is a disbalance in the relationship, and that can mean a lot of things. So let's go over the things, what it potentially could mean. And let's start off with a simple one, and that is your own self-worth, right? Let's say another person doesn't truly respect you, right? It doesn't truly respect you. It doesn't truly respect your authenticity. Your body feels that. And your body, therefore, is trying to adjust all the time. It is more in a survival, is going more in a survival mechanism rather than thriving into an enjoyment of the situation, because your body is scanning, right? This can also be with sometimes sensitive people that are scanning the moods of other people. And this is a survival or coping mechanism from the body to protect itself. And a lot of people have learned this when they grow up as a kid. I myself did that as well. Many times I heard from my environment that I knew I knew something was wrong or something was not okay with them before they actually knew it. That's how sensitive my senses basically were for my environment. So that is the first thing. So if somebody does not see you for who you truly are, right, then you cannot lower your guard and you cannot relax into that relationship and therefore charge, because a healthy relationship, guys, should charge both of the parties. So when you have a relationship, and I'm not talking only about a romantic relationship, I'm talking about a friendship, I'm talking about a business relationship, I'm talking about any kind of relationship. When two people meet and they have equally respect for each other, that is a universal law. They will both benefit each other. They will amplify each other. So I have that with some friends that I feel I can really be myself. I can be sometimes a little bit crazy. That is accepted. I can be serious. And I know that some friends really have the best intentions with me. I lower my guards. I'm really myself. And this is a very beneficial friendship for me, but also for the friend, because I'm accepting that friend as his or her authentic self as well. So that is really beneficial. So when that is not in balance, then it is draining your energy. Another thing that can happen is your own belief system. So you can have a belief system, and this also ties back maybe to a low self-worth or to a wrong programming into your mind, something that you've learned but that's actually not serving you. And that can be, for example, that you also have these coping or survival mechanisms, like maybe you are a people pleaser. You are putting yourself dependent on the mood of somebody else. So when that someone is feeling good, you are feeling good as well. When that someone is not feeling good, you're not feeling good as well. So, and that also has a little bit to do with self-acceptance. You not truly accept yourself. Why? Because you are looking for external validation into someone else in order to feel good about yourself. This means that you not truly accept yourself, and therefore you have to be able to accept yourself first, stand on your authenticity, and then it's the big question whether that person likes it or not, whether you still fight. Because if you are people pleasing, if you are dependent on external validation, then you don't really know whether that relationship actually or truly works, right? Because that person maybe has not seen or feel the real authentic you. And then comes, guys, another one, and this one is the most harsh one, and this is a spiritual insight revelation that I basically had, and that is that some people, this might sound a little bit strange to some of you, and some of you actually would have directly a click. You're like, yeah, I've had that also. I had that experience also. But some people, they are basically possessed by demonic influences, and you cannot see that. And in the Bible, this is known, or this is written about as the Jezebel spirit. In modern psychology, you would call it a narcissist. But these are basically people that do not have the best intentions with you, although they do say it. Because all what they do is they're trying to deceive you to go into a certain direction. They only try to manipulate and control without you. If you are not very conscious of the relationship, then it's very difficult to notice what is going on, especially if you are already very long in that relationship. But there happens something in an invisible world. So you have a nervous system, right? And when you are in physical contact with these persons, those that are demonically possessed or have some entities attached to their soul, to their energetic system, then the moment you are in the same room with that person, there is a connection going on. There is a slow connection with your nervous system going on, and your nervous system is under attack. That's why when you leave these situations, you always feel very drained. Why? Because you literally have been attacked in the invisible world. And this happens even more when you have an interaction with this person. So when you, for example, interact with this person, and this person can get you into reactive abuse, so it can manipulate you without you even knowing it. Your body always tells you exactly what is going on. So when you have a relationship that is actually draining you, it's costing you energy, that is a first big warning signal that something is going on, and you don't necessarily have to see that something. That can be an invisible thing too. But when you are being drained of your energy, something is going on. And I always say, guys, the most important thing is first detach yourself from that situation, cut ties, take a distance, even take a holiday or move into a different house or sleep with somebody you trust or whatever. Or sleep at a house from somebody that you trust. Take a distance from the person that is draining you, and then from a distance you will need time in order to discern what actually happened in that relationship. Right? I've run into multiple relationships that I accepted a lot of manipulation. I've accepted a lot of abuse, when right now I took a distance from these relationships, and I really think like, wow, that I accepted all those type of things. It's actually kind of crazy, right? But because you are being slowly boiled as a frog, you don't really see it that much, right? If you have for example, a woman with a husband, and the husband is abusing that woman. A lot of these women stick with the husband. Why? Because it is a addiction. It's also known as a trauma bond in a psychological terms, and that is that basically the strategy is to push and pull, to create a dopamine hit by giving affection, and then take the affection away, and then create this emptiness. So you crave again for the dopamine, and then it will be given, but just a little bit, not unconditionally, right? It will be given conditionally, and this is very tiring, this push and pull, and this is basically breaking down your nervous system until you get to a point where you, some people actually, and this is crazy, guys, but some people can actually die. From spiritual warfare, you can die. It is not likely, because the thing, and this is a very important subject as well, the reason why you are abused, or the reason why there is spiritual warfare in the first place in your life, is because you are a carrier of light. You have something inside of you that some people from the other side, they cannot really stand to see that. They are either jealous, envy, they have all these negative emotions to what you carry inside, and they can smell it from a distance, guys. They can really smell it from a distance, and that's why it's so important that for every single one of us, that we stick to our own authentic self, because if we give away our authentic power, then we literally self-harm. We literally give away the power that we were born with, and this is a big sin, if you ask me. Because when you give away your power, you basically facilitating in breaking down your own system. So what should you do if you have a relationship that is draining? Well, I personally think is first take a distance, and then from that distance see what is going on And this is also very important. Write things down. Write things down, because in a couple of months from the time you took distance, you might be back into this dynamic and problems starting to occur again, and you don't know what is going on. You don't know what's real, you don't know what's fake. You forget about what happened in the past, or you being gaslighted because that person, he will twitch the past. He will say like, yeah, this didn't happen like that, or I didn't mean it like that. Right, so that is called gaslighting. It is changing your view of reality, and this is also again an attack on your nervous system, because when you have a memory of something, a memory of you being abused, and then the abuser will tell you like, no, I didn't do that, and you're gonna start to doubt yourself. The abuser is rewriting your experience. That's how the manipulation goes, and that's again attack, because your authentic power, your experience in this case, is being invalidated. So that's very important that you stick to yourself and say like, I know this happened, this is abuse, and this is something that I will not tolerate in my life, and that's why I choose to take a distance or to not expose myself to these harmful relationships. And this is often for many people a hard lesson to learn, because we often, people who are who have a lot of empathy, right, which is a superpower. I 100% believe that, because you can look at life from different perspectives, and some people just don't have that ability. They cannot put themselves in another person's shoes and then look at life. For me, it is actually pretty easy to do something like that, to put myself in somebody else's shoes and just think like, okay, what is this person feeling right now? I can really sense that. I'm very sensitive to that, and that is a high amount of empathy that I'm carrying around, and that is a superpower if you know how to use it, and if you respect your own boundaries and your own authenticity. But it can be used against you if you are an easy prey, if you don't know what is really going on in the spiritual world. It can be used against you, because I had it the other day as well. Not that it directly was used against me, but I was sporting outside. I was doing some fitness, and I saw like this mother and this child playing, and I was actually feeling directly a little bit sorry for them, like, wow, okay, because they looked a little bit sad, they looked a little bit lonely, and I was like, directly had this feeling like, oh, I would really like to help people like that. I would, if somebody is sad around me, I would directly feel like I want to help this person. How can I help this person? What can I do to help this person? Well, it's actually, I have to take a step back. It's completely not my responsibility and not my life path to arrange everything for everybody. No. My purpose and my responsibility is to stick to my own truth, stick to my own authenticity, and from there grow, develop, and blossom and thrive. And of course, within that path, within my own authentic power, I can help many people. Right? I can talk, I can share my knowledge right here over on the internet. I can do stuff like that. Maybe I can help people more on a personal level, but I first need to help myself, because I need to stand in my strength in order to bring that strength out in the world. If I'm breaking down myself, I cannot be that pillar in the world. I cannot be helpful to other people, because I'm breaking down my own system. And this is exactly what happens in a relationship where you are feeling drained afterwards. So my tip would be, what I personally do right now is, first I'm going to distance myself from a relationship. Speed is also a very important thing with new relationships. Don't rush into new relationships, but take your time. If you meet someone and you directly with that person 24/7, your whole reality gets sucked into this vacuum of that person. Right? And you don't know that person, right? We can assume that many persons have like the best intentions with you, right? But you don't know that for sure, because there are people on this planet, and we have a lot of proof for that do not carry the best intentions for you. And they are actually out to search and destroy. And they don't do that with a big name board like, hey, I am evil, I like to break you down. No, they do that in a very deceitful way. They come into your life, and they're going to, and this is actually the crazy part, and now we are going deeper into this matter, because how is it possible for someone to be abused? like that? Like, why don't they stop it, right? Because first of all, the abuse don't happen in the early stages. The early stages is always the mirroring phase. They also call it the love bomb phase. But the person that actually has harmful intentions with you, if you imagine how could that person harm you the most, it can, in the first meeting, give you a kick, right? It can slap you, for example. It can name you bad words on the first meeting, and you would be like, yeah, I don't want to see that person anymore, right? So instinctively, these people who are demonically possessed, they know that. They know that if they show their real face, you will run away very fast, right? So what they do is they mirror you. So they mirror all the behavior and values that you have. They will mirror that. So if you, for example, you love animals, for example, you love dogs and you love animals in general, they are going to do that too. They are going to show a lot of love to animals. They will look at you and they will copy your behavior. And the reason why they do that is because if they copy your behavior, your body automatically, when it sees a mirror of your values, it automatically lowers the guard. So when the guard is lowered, this person energetically locks into your system. It locks into your system, connects to your system, and then it starts draining you. And you don't know what's happening because you are still vital, you are still good. Right? And then a couple of months passed. And it depends, of course. If you have a romantic relationship, you're 24/7 together, this process will happen faster. But if you have a friendship and you see that friendship like twice a week, it will happen slower. And maybe with a friendship which you are seeing twice per week, you might be even able, when you have a distance, to see what is going on in the dynamic, right? But with romantic relationships, it's actually very difficult. Why? Because often when there's this intercourse involved as well, this is creating a lot of hormones in your body, in your brains, that connect yourself to this person. This is also known as a soul tie. So you are basically being groomed in this relationship where you are living in the illusion that this person has the best interest with you, while actually this person has intentionally trying to break you down, but not in a way that you can see it or that even the environment can see it, because it's very difficult to spot this. And then in the invisible world, you are being drained of your life energy. Your light is being stolen from you. And once that connection has made a lot of different angles, so you are really stuck in that connection, that is the moment that the person is going to change face and the abuse is going to really start, and it's really trying to break you off. It can do many things. It can be physical abuse. Most of the time it's emotional abuse. It will be gaslighting is something that happens a lot, invalidating your reality, breaking down your authentic self. That's why many of people who are staying long in these relationships, they will experience later in the relationship a complete loss of self. They don't even know who they are anymore. Right? And if they are going to compare themselves how they were before the relationship and after the relationship, you have two different persons. Right? And you can see with many of these people that the energy is completely drained. So nowadays, when I see a relationship, I meet a couple and I see one of the two, or maybe couple, but can also be different things, right? But in the couple is probably most visible. When I see one of the two really drained, and this is a pattern, right? One person is completely drained and this is a pattern. It's often the one people look at like, hey, what's wrong with that person, right? But it's often something is wrong with the other person, because that's why that person is being drained and that's why the person is low on energy. So before I would think like, hey, well, that person has a weird aura, it has a low energy, what's wrong with him, right? But now I would think like, okay, you are being energetically sucked empty. And energetically, you are being attacked. You are being in spiritual warfare, and you cannot tell these people because they will never believe you, right? They will need to reach that low point in their life where they almost face the end of their light, which I believe can not really happen, because your light, that's why they do everything that they can to break down your light, and it will never work because you cannot get rid of your light. You can dim it, maybe temporary, but you just cannot get rid of it. That's why often all these people who experience abuse, right, who are in these narcissistic relationships and experience abuse, they often come out very strong. They also call these people super empaths. And yeah, I believe that's the case. Many people learn a lot from it. They come out of it stronger, and you know, your light begins to shine even brighter. And that is also the best revenge of going through this emotional, spiritual, sometimes physical abuse. Yeah, guys, it's actually the world that we live in is very crazy, but it's a spiritual world. The veil that we are seeing right now in this world is just a veil. Behind the scenes, so much stuff is happening. So much stuff is happening. That's why it's so important, guys, in relationships or whenever you go through life, respect yourself. Keep your self-worth at the highest. You are the priority of your life. Your body will feel that you are the priority if you put yourself at number one. Do that. When something happens that you do not agree with, speak it out. Say it. You don't agree with it. This doesn't feel good. I'm not going along with this. It's very important because these signals that you are standing up for yourself gives your body trust. Your body is an entity by itself as well, right? You are the controller of your body, but the problems that you face, maybe anxiety or maybe dysregulation of hormones, also comes forth from the fact that your body stops trusting you. The person who's operating the body. Why? Because you are being manipulated, and the body knows exactly what happens. That's why you feel it. That's why you feel in your belly that twist. That's why you feel being drained. Your body knows exactly what's happening because the body is both in the spiritual world and right here, it's experiencing everything. Right? And the moment you are standing up for yourself and you're making decisions and you show your body with authority that, hey, you are my priority, I love you, then your body is going to love you back. This is something that I've experienced right now firsthand. It's a beautiful process, guys. It's a beautiful process. And it's maybe one of the first times in my life that I really get this connection with my body again. And the gift of that connection is that you feel a certain peace. There is a certain quietness in your body that I maybe have not even experienced in my whole life. It is a quietness in your body where you can lay in the night, you can lay in bed and you just sleep very good and you trust everything is going to be okay because you respect your own authentic self. You respect your authenticity. You stand for what you feel, right? You put your body at the first priority. If a relationship doesn't feel good, go. I'm turning around. I'm loving myself too much to put myself in a situation where I'm being in a spiritual world being attacked, going to spiritual warfare. Of course, we can never avoid complete spiritual warfare, but if I truly love myself, I rather surround myself with people who have benevolent intentions with me. And I with them, of course. These relationships really count, guys. These relationships really count. And it's better to have a relationship with like 2 or 3 people that you have a really close relationship with, that you know you can trust and you can build on and you can go through this journey on life together, right? You can share many things without being worried that something might happen to you when you run into some problems. You know these persons will be ready to help you and you will be ready to help these persons. That is better than to have to know 100 people or 50 people that are all like kind of like jealous, envy, have all these weird negative emotional states that just draining you. Just draining you. It will not give you anything. And that's also a superpower that you can be alone, because if you are able to be alone and to sit in your feeling of loneliness, well, it doesn't have to be a feeling of loneliness, but if you can be alone and you can have fun alone with yourself, with your body, you know, you have a lot of leverage because you don't need other people. You don't need someone, you don't need an external person to tell you that you're doing good, or you don't need an external person to walk with you in the city center, or to go with you to the cinema, or to go with you to the restaurant. No, you love yourself so much, you're able to do that alone, and that gives you a lot of leverage, because anyone that walks in your life, you can discern right now, you can discern, what is this for person? The person might look good, he might look happy, he might mirror your behavior and values in the beginning, but you don't know who you're dealing with until you spend more time together and from a distance. Because many people, guys, many people that come and wants to harm you, they are using the force of speed. And this is, like I said in the previous video as well, if somebody is trying to scam you with money or whatever, they always need to have quick. You know, quick counter money. This investment opportunity right now. You can only join today. You have to make a decision right now. Don't fall for it. This is exactly how these demonically possessed people work, because they know exactly if you look long enough to them and you start to see the truth, the veil is being lifted, you are going to run away, far away from these people. They know exactly that that's the case. They feel that intuitively, or they are very conscious about it. So that's why they always use speed. They want to be 24/7 together from the start, because then they can manipulate and control the whole situation, and you are slowly being broken down. And that's why you don't see it, because you don't have these periods where you are taking a break, looking from the situation from a distance and really think like, is this a healthy situation for me? Is this something like, also what would help is like, if I would look in 10 years from now, right? If I would be with this person and we are exchanging energy in 10 years from now, would that make me a better person? Or would it just would something be pulling me down? Is something hanging on me, right? Also important questions to ask. Oh, guys, I really love these dates. These dates, I don't know why, but I almost eat like a couple of these buckets every week. My friend always tells me like, Jeroen, there are a lot of calories in that, I know, but when it's calories from something like this, when it's from nature, oh, I just really love it, guys. It is such a blessing to be able to eat these things on a daily basis. Yeah, guys, love life, man. Love life. Sit in the graveyard, eating dates, talking about demonically possessed people. It is actually also quite funny, right? And I actually, recently, guys, I really start to love my life more and more. I start to let go of control. I start to surrender my life more to what is happening inside of me. I respect my own authenticity more. I break contact with many people that I find out are actually harmful for me. So yeah, I'm actually doing really good. I'm very happy. And I'm very excited with this new YouTube channel to bring my authenticity more to you. To show you guys exactly what am I doing, what are my feelings, what are the things that I have learned in life, what are the things that I can share with you. And maybe some of you will walk a similar path that I'm walking, and you will recognize some things, and it might help you. You will get some recognition. And what it actually does for me, guys, is it helps me to work on my story too. That's why these videos are also very important for me, because through these videos that I'm sharing with you, I'm actually working on myself, on my own story. So it is a benefit for everybody. Awesome, guys. If you have any experience with the topics I discussed in today's video, let me know in the comment section, guys. I'm very interested, of course. And the message of this video, guys, the main message of this video is love thyself. Love yourself, guys. You carry such a tremendous amount of light within you, and you really have to respect that light. And you respect that light by respecting yourself, respecting your true authentic self. And this is everything that we got. All the material possessions, all the things that we are chasing in life is, again, it's all the layer on top of what's really going on. And what's really going on is, what's really important are, who are you? Who are you? What are your values as a person? Who is you? Who is watching this video? Ask that question. Who am I? What are my values in life? What are my interests? Do I love? What gives me energy? Which feedback do I get from my body, guys? These are the most important questions. Love yourself. Put yourself on the #1 priority in this life. Okay, guys, that was it for today's video. I love you all, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.